right, so we had a build around submission to kick the tires on Braids, along with some Lilianas inside of Explorer. I think Braids slots very eloquently into a deck alongside Oni-Cult Anvil, which rewards you for sacrificing artifacts. We also got a couple of Weatherlight Compleated in here as another thing that pays us off for sacrificing our things. I'm playing a couple of Sheoldred in the sideboard because this card really overperformed for us in red-black mid-range yesterday. Let's pop on into a few games with this and see how Braid seems to stack up inside of Explorer. Did Village Rights also rotate? Chat, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what's standard legal. When I'm building standard decks, I'm loading up the Magic Arena deck editor and using the filter options. If chat tells me something is legal, I believe them. If chat tells me it's not legal, I also probably believe you. Benes, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I see it's fine. Magic the Gathering is a true skill game, chat. Magic is a skill-based game, doo-da, doo-da. Magic is a skill-based game, oh, the doo-da day. Turn my blood token into something else here. Now, one thing that is a little awkward about the synthesizer is we added a lot of 3-drops to our deck here. So, if this hit a Braids or a Liliana there, I'd be kind of sad. But I also just, like, don't have anything else to do with my hand right now, so I think I'm supposed to just play it out. They could have a Fatal Push here, is the downside to sacrificing my creature, but I have a Abandon Mire to pick Braids back up, so I think this sequence is fine. He does let us sack our lands when we're flooded, which is nice. In fact, I think I'm gonna bin the pathway here. I mean, for what it's worth, I wasn't playing Fable in the previous iteration of this deck, J-Ray. We were playing Herald of Anguish in that slot. Braids is also legendary here. So she makes my, my Mire cheaper to cycle. Sheoldred is very good, Chip. Very, very good. Woo! Push her off a cliff, Chip. Bye, Felicia. Block. Try drawing more Nodlands. It seems like a strong play. I will take it under consideration. Close game here. Is the part where they draw stomp and kill me? No! No! Womp womp. So close and yet so far away. The K command on curve to kill our anvil was rough. Wow, it's crazy how much competitive Magic has fallen off. There's a 20K, a $20,000 cash prize tournament that Star City Games is running in Columbus this weekend, and they had 187 players. Like, I'm like, for context, back when I was grinding competitive Magic in the, like, 2015 to 2019 era, I would regularly play 5Ks that were bigger than that. It's very low. Yeah, like, I won a almost 350 player 5K, I think actually in Columbus at one point. What number would you consider normal for a 20K? A Star City Games Open in the Midwest would typically have anywhere from 700 to 1,200 players. Back when I was playing a ton. Heyo! Thanks for ever checked out the Green Chef promo. Slide on into my DMs to claim your deck submission. Also, feel free to hold on to it for a little bit if you're not quite sure what you want to submit. I think I'm gonna leave them the Raven Man for a second here. Get another Oni-Cult into play. Ever went and crunched the numbers? What was my salary from only winnings in a year? The year I finished second on the SCG tour, traveling a ton, I won, I believe it was like $19,400 in tournament winnings. And I spent, I believe it was like $17,000 traveling that year. So, yeah. So what I'm saying is, chat, I was profitable that year. That's the thing you should take away from that story. I turned to like $2,000 profit that year. To all the people in chat that are listing the variety of reasons why the Star City Games event has a small turnout at it, all of the things you're listing is correct. But what the thing you need to understand is, I don't care why it is. I'm just observing the fact that competitive Magic hasn't recovered. That's my observation here. It ain't what she used to be. So I'm not telling you the things you're saying are wrong. I'm just saying that I don't really care why it is how it is. I'm just observing what it is. To the person that just got timed out, that's a great timeout, Beetle. I missed that one. There are a lot of things you should never do in my chat. And coming in here and trying to throw insults at other content creators is pretty far up there on the list. In fact, it's like probably number 2, right under don't be a fascist. All right, it's number 3. There's don't be a fascist, there's don't support fascists, and then there's don't come in here and try and sling crap at other content creators. As someone who gets crap thrown his way constantly, the amount of nonsense and outright lies I hear about myself when it comes to people talking about content creators on the internet is just incredible. And you should take basically every negative thing you hear about most creators with a huge grain of salt, because it is all just this giant crappy game of telephone where he said, she said, thee said, they said, and it goes around, and by the end of the day, they're like, what people are mad about is just like, isn't even remotely what actually happened. It's not even about it being an echo chamber. That's just like how humans work. It's like, when a story gets passed around, it gets convoluted or exaggerated on each subsequent telling. It's like how people are. And obviously this is the internet, so I need to like add an asterisk here, but I am not talking about, when I refer to things like that, people who are objectively terrible human beings, whether they be fascists or sexual harassers or people who have committed sexual assault, things of that nature. I'm talking about all of the stupid shit you hear on the internet. Hypnos, thanks for the over 2.5 years. Welcome back. Like, if you want to know my personal favorite absurdity that frequently gets thrown out at me by people that have some kind of problem with me, did you know, chat, that my older 2 children can't possibly be mine? I can't be their father because a white dude can't have kids that have curly hair. And I wish I was making that up and that wasn't something that constantly gets thrown in my direction, but it is, and it's just like, yeah, just the internet. That is one that frequently makes the rounds. No, I personally never had curly hair. My grandfather on my mother's side does, though, and genes are kind of funky like that, turns out. The thing that really makes me... the thing that really always reminds me that Magic players aren't all right, chat, is the number of people who dislike my opinions when it comes to things related to a children's card game, and then they turn that into trying to make me out to be this actual awful human being. So much of their personality is wrapped up in Magic the Gathering as a game that they turn me disagreeing with them or them not liking something I said about a card game into, like, real world negative awful things. Like, the number of times that I have shitters try and compare me to people like The Quartering or Todd Stevens is just, like, mind-boggling and frustrating. Well, definitely Bolt the Bird. I think this is a try for a black source angle on the synthesizer. Yeah, the number of people who are like, I got wrongfully blocked by Jeff Hoagland on Twitter, and then their reaction to getting blocked on Twitter is to, like, start swearing at me and throwing insults. It's just like, do you not understand how this is like a you definitely deserved this type thing? Like, if your reaction to having to log out of Twitter to see my tweets is like spewing vitriol, you definitely deserved the block you got. All right, I think we cycle this, because if I hit untap black, we can edict this Hydra. Oh, there's plenty of them, I am shook. You could definitely say they are thoroughly shook. And to give a quick lesson on social media, I also don't think everybody that ends up on my block list is a bad person. In fact, most of them probably aren't. But I do know that everybody who ends up on my Twitter block list either directly harassed me or they gave engagement to posts that resulted in harassment coming my way. I think a lot of people don't understand that their engagement on social media leads to lots of dogpiling. And I have a really, technology is wonderful in ways. I have a really handy dandy tool that I put a tweet into it and it automatically blocks everybody that liked the tweet. So when someone sends something kind of crappy my way, I click 3 buttons and everybody that engaged with and supported and promoted that by clicking the like button just disappears from my timeline from the future. It's great. I think we might be dead here. we might be dead here. We just fell a little bit too far behind, a little bit too quick. We're also on the Diamond 4 rank floor, so like, my incentive to play a game where we're mostly dead is like kinda low. Oh, let me get your sword back, Dr. Broom. This card blocks okay and can stall the board. This might be fine. Liliana the Veil is actually kind of medium into all of their cheap creatures and elves. And fine. Storm the Festival is very good at beating up mid-range decks. That is true. The opponent's archetype is largely a successful deck in this format because of its ability to beat up these red-black based mid-range decks. A lot of its success is predicated. It's the Tron deck of this format. You're like, oh, you're playing Thoughtseize and removal spells? Allow me to put large lands that generate value into play and give you a bad time. Our deck is definitely worse against trample than some others. I'm having double old growth is a tough nut. Okay. Thank you, honey. Are we killing a troll here? We are. In chat, we have the results of our green chef meal here. Some chickpea sandwiches with some carrots cooked up on the side. I think I'm using the blood token here. Get a 1/1. Alright, that's a pretty good Storm the Festival.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Yeah, Nykthos, like, puts their archetype into mad overdrive. Not quite on this platform yet, though.
my elemental friend.
Oh yeah, they have main deck Karn too to turn our anvils off. That matchup seems unwinnable. That's okay. We're on the Diamond 4 ranked floor. For those of you taking notes at home, you should note that we tactically won the match that put us up to Diamond 4, and then we saved our loss for once we had a free loss to give. It's all about putting your losses in the right place. This is actually really good, Chip. It's got like some kind of hummus and lemon mixed in with the chickpeas in the sandwich. All of the meals from these places that I've tried tend to be reasonable and satisfying, but some of them are cut above. I always make sure we sort out the meal cards from the things that we make into loved, liked, disliked. And the ones that we loved, we always make a point to make again. I wonder if I'm supposed to play one of these on one and just sack it on two to get the anvils going. I think I'm just passing here. That's close. It might be right to just sacrifice this and give up the card to get the 1/1s into play. Yes, they did nerf Blissey heals, thank God. Thank goodness. Do this first, kinda hoping to find a land drop. Meathook Massacre. I think that's actually better than... I think that's better than getting the Bloodtithe Harvester into play here. Could go either way. Okay, so Braids and Liliana are pretty atrocious against Hangerback Walker, huh? Longtime lurker, want to thank you for explaining your plays and the process behind them. I wish I could say it helps, but I spend too much time playing god-awful cards and then complaining about it on Twitter. Hey, you know what? The first step to improving is being honest with yourself, and it sounds like you're doing that. I think you got a lot of potential there, Jimmy Bean. Thanks for the 6 months. Welcome back. One day, my 5-color mutate deck. God bless us, everyone.
Until the multiverse is one, we will fight to make it so.
All right, we need to play this inside of Hardened Scales at some point. This is kind of gas.
We are watchful eye and sharpened steel.
Hey, what's going on, Grolnan? Thanks for 11 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Yeah, like this. Yeah, it sounds reasonable, Orgy. So I can't sacrifice an artifact or a creature because then the hanger backwalker cracks. So I think we can sack a land though.
Join us in perfect harmony.
Yikes. Hey, what's going on, Square? Welcome to Live One. We double block the aspirant to kill it. No, Braids could be our route to killing them next turn. Braids sacrificing Meathook Massacre domes them for 2. So if I Oni-Cult Anvil this, and then I Oni-Cult Anvil this, And then I Liliana of the Veil, sacrifice a creature.
And for once it's not my fault.
They go to 2,
Always hated crowds.
and then they don't have an enchantment. We sacrifice Meathook Massacre and they die. We could also deal 1 more damage to them by fatal pushing our Braids in response to her trigger, but we don't need to do that. They're dead. Wins like that always make my brain feel huge. You're just like, and all of these bits line up together, and then we'll mix in some of those bits, and then just right down to the wire. Get them for, we had 1 over Xaxes there. We were pretty close to just like straight Xaxes. All right, this feels like an all Doomblades on deck matchup for sure. Combat-based gameplay. Well, we did not leave any of the buffalo to waste there, Chip. And speaking of leaving some of the buffalo to waste, one of the best things about the meal kit services like Green Chef is the fact that all of the ingredients are measured out exactly for what you're making. So there isn't a bunch of extra food waste. That's one of the things, even when you like try and recreate your own meals, it's hard to get the exact ratios of everything when you buy stuff at the store, even when you know what you're making. It'd be quite the jumping around trying to figure out how to make it all, not end up in a trash can somewhere. Are the meals one size fits all, or is there an American option? The two serving proportion is pretty reasonable. I usually get 2 servings, me personally, out of a 2 serving meal. In fact, Christy and I, even if we're getting something that the boys won't eat, we often just buy the 4 servings of meals we know we're gonna like, so that way we can have one together and then eat a leftover after. Turn 1 hardened scale is a little scary. Just attack them. On the off chance they can't make their things bigger, we can Meathook them next turn. Maybe I'm supposed to leave this and save the Ray for something like this. I think this is a Meathook for 2 angle, but things are not looking good for our hero because of how I used our removal spell. I definitely used my Ray of Enfeeblement at a pretty inoptimal timing. That's on me.
Why resist us? Every day, more rally to our glorious cause.
We saved the blood token. We could have gotten the serpent. How would a blood token have helped? Can you explain? I don't understand. Oh, yeah, you wanted me to... Yeah, that doesn't work. That has trample, so we are dead. Stop and think a little bit more before we pop off our removal spells next game. Den of the Bugbear on 1, so if we spike untapped land, we can Weather Compleated on 2 into Haunted Ridge untapped on 3. And spike a land. That was a Weatherlight ban. Have yet to put it into play. I'm just passing. I mean, casting any of these doesn't accomplish anything, right? It like uses a land that's gonna go unused, but that's it. Sack the blood token. Let's see if there's animation. It is a mythic, chat. If any card was gonna have an animation on Magic Arena, it'd be a mythic, right? Right? Oh, somebody please think of the mythics. Her scales are very firm, Chip. Our opponent is convinced that our card was good shit. Trade Hangboy for Bloodtithe Harvester, that's fine with me. And if they don't, they're taking a good chunk here. Finest Meathook Massacres, please, deck. Some cards. Deck this to draw a card to gain a little bit of life. Their thing's gonna die here, but it's gonna trade with mine, and then they're gonna gain a bunch from this thing getting bigger. So this gives them some breathing room. That text was effectively impossible to read. Token into a damage here. You just fire up here, huh? How have we drawn so many lands? Very skillfully. Am I doing Unite tonight on YouTube? Almost assuredly. Looking forward to it. I'm not sure if View's very good though, so I'm gonna see if I can rope half View into carrying me. We've got huge tracts of land. I definitely played 3 or 4 games with Spraggles while he was streaming this morning. before I went live. I also recorded a video of the patch summary going over my thoughts on the changes. That's up on the Unite channel, but definitely played a few before we signed on for Magic. Yes, mine does look really strong. Agreed. Yeah, I agree, Avocado. And honestly, even if they have Yasharn, like, we're on Fatal Pushes and Noxious Grasps and Rays, like, we have a lot of ways to take a Yasharn off the board. They haven't announced the 23 season at all yet, Beetle. I gotta imagine they announce soon, though. Hopefully, Copium. Tiger Yamato, thank you for the over 2.5 years. Welcome back. Ah, Steak, your build looks sweet. Ajani seems like a great addition to that archetype. If you're in the subs Discord, you should post it in the Pioneer channel and or DM it to me. The children did enjoy all the Pokemon stuff we brought home. So we bought each of the kids the special London Pikachu, and then we got each of them their own individual plushie on top of that. And Munchlax was one of the baby Pokemon they had there, so I bought that one for Haley. And when I brought it to her and I tried to give it to her, she saw Mew sitting in the suitcase that I bought to put up on the shelves behind me. And she handed me the Munchlax back. I was like, no, this is for Dadai. And then she took the Mew. Kid's got good taste. Let's get the completed going, huh? She's right. Her dad has big Munchlax energy. Ow.
You're telling me what you know about the Drop It?
It's a glory bringer.
Do not touch me again.
Just reconnected with one of my best friends from high school. He's got 4 sons and a 5th on the way, and apparently his wife is dead set on having a daughter. Adoption's a really good option. Thanks for the 3 years, Thomas. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Christy and I weren't specifically aiming for a girl. We're just like, we were just both getting a little bit older, and we were like, okay, are we having more kids? Are we done? And we came to the conclusion we wanted one more, and then, you know, we have Haley. What's going on, JMK? Thanks for the tier 2 in almost 4.5 years. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, I suppose. Would you like to continue discarding cards? Ah, they're gonna edict my Braids. Rude.
One of your friends has to leave. Happy to help, but I'm...
Yeah, this Crocs is gonna be a problem, though.
A delay, nothing more. I'm tired of your secrets.
This is so far away. Weatherlight, not looking so hot so far, Chip. It's a real shame. If we would have drawn a land that turn, an untapped land, we would have gotten to eat their Kroxa and hit their Liliana. And it would have been super ideal.
It's my turn. Yup.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to run that line this turn. So you're...
You won't be outsmarting me.
So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do. Oh, did they not have... Were they short a card? Oh, my counting... I assumed they were going to discard a card from hand. But they just kept playing them out. Okay, they actually didn't have enough... They actually didn't have enough to do that. Not to try and convince you one way or another, Huffer, but in terms of difficulty scaling, going from 1 child to 2 children is definitely harder than going from 2 to 3 was. Obviously, costs still scale with them though too, so. I made an offhand comment to Christy the other day about when Haley finishes daycare, it'll be like getting a $14,000 per year raise. And she cracked back with, actually, with how much the price has gone up, we actually pay $17,000 a year for daycare. It was just like... America. Do. That's true too, Beetle. Not dealing with diapers and pull-ups at the same time is nice. This is just a race to the finish, right? Am I supposed to anvil here? We are. Oh yeah, don't get me started on paternity leave, chat. But talking about paternity leave is where you really start to learn who in chat lives in what countries.
Today's my lucky day.
Because when I would bring up the fact that my wife's job gave her 12 weeks of paternity leave, everybody in the United States is like, wow, 12 weeks, that's a lot. And then everybody who lives in first world countries is always like, you only get 12 weeks, bro? Graveyard Trespasser is so good. All right. All right, everybody clench.
This was a waste of my time. There's no problem fire can't solve.
Is there a removal that gets around ward? Yeah, any removal spells that say can't be countered gets around ward. They're actually just dead on board, right? So this obviously makes it easier, but if I fired up Hive, this has Menace, they'd have to go block, 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 and then take at least one, and then the Anvil kills them. Right? This makes it faster, and it makes it look like I'm slow rolling them, but just wanted to talk through that they were dead even without this. Yeah, Abrupt Decay would be a nice addition to this format. I was really disappointed that wasn't in the anthology. Abrupt Decay and Spell Queller are both cards I really like on this platform. Grab some Sheoldreds, cut the Epicures, then clicks a bit. Extra Liliana, maybe. She deals with their Dorko a little bit nicely. I would love to quell some spells too. To elect to block warriors and keep this hand. Help, help, I'm under duress. Is there a Connive Esper deck using Sheoldred somehow? I mean, I don't think that you need to, like, do anything super fancy in terms of being specifically a Connive deck. You just, like, play Sheoldred with good cards that happen to draw cards. Cards that draw cards are good, right? It's just, like, play great flavors that taste great together, essentially. Sheoldred, Kaido, Ledger Shredder, yeah. I mean, those are all just like I said, these are all just like good magic cards. Play good magic cards together. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't put cards that are otherwise unplayable in your deck because they're cute and they draw cards. Just like, play it with other cards that are already good. Alright, do I wish to Fatal Push Graveyard Trespasser? Yes, probably. could have just played a Harvester out there too. Maybe that was better. During the block inside of combat. What are the odds we make it to the end step with this one? 0? Less than 0? Slightly higher than 0, turns out. Wonder if they messed up priority there. It feels like they're pausing on something. Really, huh? It's the part where they go land Meathook Massacre, and then I curl up in a little ball and cry. Well, they didn't have the land at least. Maybe I'm supposed to sack one of my creatures to keep the blood token to keep Oni-Cult Anvil going. That's probably the case. Yeah, I think I messed up. I should have been playing around this. I get rewarded here. Sometimes lucky, but in a different way, should have another blood token. Yeah, play DMU. Get you some free packs. Attack the Harvester's 0 to front life gain. They are sorcery speed only, friendo. I am going to trade Harvester plus a 1/1 to turn this Glutton into a zombie token. Works in paper, sure does.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. Off you go.
I edicted them here because I didn't want them to be able to sacrifice their zombie to deny my card draw.
I knew you needed my help.
Assume Braids is dead here.
If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Again, for people of the Mire Breaker, you'd love to see it. Unfortunately, no fatal push here, so probably buried and go into a game 3.
Yup, you're going down.
Braids has felt pretty good in this deck. I don't know that I like Liliana better than Herald of Anguish. Definitely like the Herald of Anguish variation of this deck. This has been nice. This has been fine. Lily's been kind of whatever so far. Put the extra fatal push back in to have another way to clear out the Kalitas. What's going on, Bionic? Thank you for the 3 years. Watch a game I don't play anymore because of the economy. Big Magic vibes. Big Magic vibes. Weatherlight did anything other than scry a few times? No. The Weatherlight's been pretty unimpressive too. Cards that take that much setup in general tend to be a little bit medium in non-rotating formats. Weatherlight's probably pretty good in the standard version of this deck, but it's probably not good enough here. I'm gonna draw a card here so I keep this Liliana.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch. Don't overthink.
Yeah, we're gonna build Weatherlight with the Crew 1 Legend in Standard after this. Okay. This is where Liliana the Veil really shines, chat. When you get to plus her and take a card from your opponent while you're empty-handed.
We all have things we remember.
Just like +1 my 3-mana Planeswalker generate card advantage is real strong. Yeah, arena players really love leading in a bunch of discard spells in Liliana matchups. The addition of this card to the format is gonna make these black matches so much more skill intensive. A lot more room to outmaneuver your opponent, especially during boarding.
Drop it.
I'm just playing this for 0. The drop it line on Liliana the Veil is really fantastic. She definitely strikes me as someone who views most of her opponents as dogs, so that feels appropriate. Okay. Do I just sack Lily here? Because they're just going to attack her with the creature land, right? You know, it's funny, Brick Skipper, because most of the people that complain about being blocked on Twitter, they never watched or followed my content anyways. And also, it's not like being blocked on Twitter prevents you from watching a Twitch stream. In fact, being banned on a Twitch stream doesn't prevent you from watching it. It just prevents you from looking at the chat. They are super dead here, huh? They're actually just dead this turn, right? So they sack that. I get 2 of these, and then Oni-Cult plus Meathook drains them. And then the next step past that, Danny, like, even if they were banned on Twitch, like, most of them weren't gonna subscribe to be able to chat to begin with anyways. They weren't gonna meme in chat. They weren't gonna meme in chat anyways. Just a long list of people that are very bitter with their hobby in life, that are looking for something to be mad about. Life is short, chat, and your game should make you happy. If at any point the thing you're supposed to be doing for fun is making you feel frustrated and upset, you should either stop doing that thing or start doing it in a different way. Because there's so many things as an adult you're going to be obligated to do that you don't have the option to stop doing that are going to make you annoyed or mad. Don't let your hobbies and your games be something that make you mad as well. I have yet to misclick when putting a Shockland into play with this new UI update, but I feel like it's gotta be coming. I keep almost misclicking and catching myself. Yeah, and I mean, I think especially, it's so easy with games like Arena, and this isn't exclusive to Arena. It's Arena, it's Genshin Impact, it's Raid Shadow Legends, it's even games like Pokemon Unite to a degree. All of the free-to-play games that exist today are designed in manners that abuse psychology to keep people playing them even when they're not enjoying themselves. And I think it's really important that if you're going to have a healthy relationship with any of these free-to-play games, you need to be able to constantly be aware of how they make you feel when you're playing them. And if they're sparking way more anger than joy, you need to take a step back and do something else for a little while. Don't do chores with your video game. The only reason you're logging in is to do your dailies and not because you're having fun. Stop logging in. Uninstall the application. Like 1-1 here. Hey, thanks for the Prime JRC. Appreciate it. That's why I stopped playing WoW. Yeah, it applies to so many things, right? Like, there's a ton of different... It's, like, by no means exclusive to Arena. All of these games are looking to monopolize your time. And if you're enjoying them, that's great. You should play them and feel free to play them and enjoy them. But if you're not actually enjoying them, uninstall them and do something else. Well, I was gonna Fatal Push from my hand, but now we don't have to do that. What if I want to be unhappy? If your goal is to be unhappy, you should do it while trying to accomplish some kind of greater good in life. Want to start sacking lands to Braid? Maybe. I guess sacrificing my 1-1 does get punished by Liliana here, huh? It's a little sad. Plenty of bad cards to discard, though.
Take him out. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, well, I was counting on drawing an artifact, if I'm being honest, Jet. Our deck has a lot of those in them. Silly me. Want to buy Elder Spell? Alright, so do I Fatal Push the Bone Crusher Giant, or do I just cast Bloodtithe Harvester? I think I just cast Bloodtithe Harvester. Now we know our opponent has a bunch of spells in their hand here, because they've been declining plussing Liliana. Is noteworthy. So they have another Chandra then?
Oh, yep. You're flammable. What? My hair is on fire? I know. Yep. You're going down.
I'm yelling timber. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
That was almost a disaster, Chip. Almost. All right, I think we're just chilling.
Waste of my time. I know when I'm not wanted.
Oh, man. They draw another Liliana?
Has to leave.
Okay. Like, that's a weird one. So Chandra is gonna...
Let's make this quick.
Chandra's gonna kill my Braids, I assume, here.
Crowds.
Feel the burn.
Oh wait, this works, right? Man, I can't believe we ground through these planeswalkers. Lily, one of the upsides to playing this particular deck that we're playing right now is that Liliana the Veil is really mediocre against us.
This isn't how things were supposed to go.
She's a great card, but she's definitely not good into everything. Yeah, our creature lands are excellent too. Hive is so powerful. Just those out, these in, click submit is what I've been doing. Like the first few Lilianas, but I don't think I want the extra. Yeah, I agree, Prispic. I'm glad we got her. I don't think she's gonna be a huge problem by any means. I'm really sad we don't have any creature lands in standard. No creature lands, no bolt lands is such a big sad. One of my buddies said Abundant Harvest was bugged this patch. They must have changed on their back end how cards that give you choices work with the buttons for the shock lands to change and something like that to get bugged. Like, someone was definitely funking with something they probably shouldn't have. I mean, Liliana is not even about being contextually powerful, I wouldn't say. She's just a card that, like, has different matchups. Yeah, usually when they bug something, it's like not rules text that gets bugged. Usually it's like the interface is awful for some reason or something else along those lines. Alright, is this gonna be it, chat? Are we gonna finally get Weatherlight Compleated going alongside the Oni-Cult Anvil?
You wanna go, tough guy? Top, drop, and roll won't help you, buddy.
Please attack me. It's literally face up in my hand, chat. Well, you later, Chandra.
It's over when I say it's over.
Jukai Liberator also only lets you seek a non-land permanent. Yeah, they must have fucked something up. It eventually starts drawing cards too, right? It's 7 Freesis counters, draws cards when things die. Our Meathook is big sad. That's fine. The Anvils and the Weatherlight probably win us the game. Chill and just leave extra blockers for now. Yeah, that's the other question. Is Weatherlight better than playing Herald? It might not be. I've definitely felt like I've missed Herald a little bit in these games. That card really takes over. Braids has been really excellent throughout today's set. But Herald is one that I've lagged. I wish I had Herald. Is Rakdos still a place to be? I mean, Rakdos mid-range is still the most popular deck in the format. It got a good upgrade, will continue to be good. That being said, I've always liked the Sacrifice Shell. I think this shell's been good for a little bit. Tick-tock goes the Sheoldred clock. Do-do-do-do. 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 Hit me! Yeah, Sheoldred is a card that I feel like gets punched above its weight class. I was expecting it to be playable, but it's felt better than I was expecting. So, overall, Braids felt really good in this shell. Liliana felt good in some spots, but I think I would probably relegate her to the sideboard. And I think Weatherlight's probably just too slow to get going. It's like only really great when you have Oni-Cult Anvil going already. And if you have Oni-Cult Anvil going already, you probably don't need the extra help. So I think I would like get to 2 Liliana in the board and then get my Heralds back into the main deck probably. Makes our arcade command a little bit better too. These are less good when we don't have Herald to pick back up. And for people that are new to the channel or haven't seen this deck before, where is Herald? H-E-R. Herald of Anguish. H-E-R. This is my boy, Chet. Just round out like that. Extra Lily in the board. Probably over the K command, honestly. Okay, I think I'll do this next time we play this archetype. But Braids was good. Definitely play her again. Missed this. Put some Lilies on the board for the control matchups. Hey, Yavanko. Thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back.